So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728, and this is my honest take on George Floyd's video and Lana and Lily Watchowski. Basically, I was really afraid to look at the whole video. I've seen pictures. Everybody's seen the pictures of the cop looking up at the camera, and we've heard of him calling out for his mother and the people asking the cop just to get off his neck, begging him. And I really didn't want to look at it. I thought that it would be overwhelming for me to watch it and look at this guy who died. But I finally built up the nerve, as they say, to go looking for it. It took me a while to find it, to find a video that was most of it. And I don't know if I was trying to avoid it, but then I just said, okay, let's just take a look at this. And honestly, it didn't move me. It really, I think if I thought about thinking about it, don't get me wrong, I obviously, it's a bad thing, and you know the guy is dying. We know after the fact. I don't know if I was putting myself in the position of the people who were there. They seemed to be pretty convinced that he was dead. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't looking at the knee on his neck. But it wasn't like I was reduced to tears or something like that. Or it wasn't like I was... It's funny because I feel like if I was there, knowing that he was going to die, that I might have screamed and shouted at the top of my lungs so that everybody everywhere could hear and come and see. I felt like that. And I wondered if it would have made any difference if I was there screaming. No, the people were there and they were shouting, and they were basically trying to get at the officer mentally to get him to be like, okay, let me just get off this guy. But I don't know if I would have. I feel like I would have, just from a safe distance, because there's the Hmong cop. I think that's his ancestry. And he was not looking at what the cop, his superior, was doing. He's just looking at the people who were there filming. And it seemed like he was oblivious to what the other cops were doing. Of course, the other cops are hidden. You can't see that, they are probably the ones who were making sure that he can't breathe. But I don't know, I was a little bit distant. It did not, like I said, it didn't break me down. What I do recall is there's this guy from This Is Us, the black guy. I don't know if his father's dead. I used to watch it. I was happy that they could bring together this black kid and his family, and I liked it. I was really rooting for the show, and I don't know if it's still going on, but he was talking about what happened to Aubrey, that Aubrey guy. And when he broke down, that really got me feeling poorly about what happened. I could feel his pain in seeing that happen, or I don't know I think that's more what I react to. Because I think that, even when I was watching my father's funeral, it was not something that got me. I think when one of his relatives started to get moved and say various things, that's when I felt a little bit moved. I think it's more that I'm feeling what other people are indicating for me that I should feel, maybe. Maybe that moves me more than these actual things. But some things, I guess. I can't think of a good example, but I know I'm moved by certain things, even if nobody else is. Or I think I am. And maybe that's why I can't find a good example. Now, with respect to Lily and Lana Watchowski, I just maybe yesterday or the day before realized that, now both of them have transitioned. I'd heard that Lily had transitioned to being a woman, and now her sister has transitioned as well. So both of the Watchowski, formerly brothers, are now the Watchowski sisters. And I have to say, I felt in a similar way when I heard the news. To be perfectly honest, I guess I have to couch this a bit. I 100% support them doing this thing, transitioning, that makes their lives better, or that they think makes their lives better. I don't know which one it is, but they're adults, and I want people to be happier. My personal feeling, though, is a bit of revulsion, and it's because I went and I looked for pictures of them afterwards, and before I looked at the pictures, I might feel the way that many other people might feel. I don't know if other people might feel that or not, but I feel like women are attractive. There's some women that I'm not attracted to, but that's fine. And I feel that men are not. And I feel that having to call them the Watchowski sisters and all of that, actually, that was a little while ago. To be honest, what happened was I went looking for a picture of them, and the pictures of them that I saw kind of completely reduced the revulsion that I had thinking about the fact that, one of them transitioned. That's kind of hard enough already for me to deal with mentally. And then her brother transitioned, and it just feels so unnecessary, is how I feel. But at the same time, I 100% support not only their right, I'm glad that they're doing something that hopefully will make them better people. It's hard for me, though, to get used to it and to tell myself that the feeling that I was feeling, which was just, and ew, and whatever, was bad. But I know that that's the right thing. I know that the situation is right. Like I said, when I went looking up for pictures of them, I don't really feel so bad. I don't feel disgusted looking at their pictures. They're two people who made a choice that works for them, and maybe it's the things that they did with their hair to make themselves feel more like women. It just doesn't bother me as much seeing them, as opposed to thinking about this whole thing. I still don't feel exactly right saying the Watchowski sisters. My brain really has a problem with going from the Watchowski brothers to the Watchowski sisters. I don't contest, and I'm really not even interested in how can they really think that we will accept them as being a woman now, and none of that. It's just I felt revulsed, and I don't feel as revulsed anymore, and all of the genetics is still male, but who cares? I think a lot of the problems that we have are just, I think there's ways that we can mentally get over some of this stuff. I was even looking at, it's Colion Noir on Joe Rogan today. And I guess this is something that I have to remind myself from time to time, that I don't care about, for the most part, gun violence in the US. Because it is nothing compared to the amount of people that die of cigarettes every year. And especially when you take out the amount of people who die of suicides in the US every year, then it comes down to something like 10 or 11,000 people actually die of gun violence in the US every year, which is really like nothing. In a place with 320 or 50 million people, it's really like nothing. It's not a big deal at all. So yeah, school shootings, mass shootings, even the one in Las Vegas, shocking, crazy. The likelihood of actually becoming a victim of one of these things is, if you add in the suicides, about the same amount as dying in a motor vehicle accident in the US, which is not that high at all. And it makes me think it's just everything about it is ridiculous. The people who want guns for safety are ridiculous, and the people who think that gun violence is such a big deal that we should even care about it. I recognize that I would have been on the side of people talking about, hey, let's reduce gun violence, but it's a non-issue. There's much more important stuff to take a look at, for the US anyway. But anyway, guys, you can wish me luck. You can like or unlike, comment, subscribe, and or share. And of course, it's not preferred, but you're free to do nothing. Peace.